This is a quick win episode of the Learn It, Do It podcast. One topic, to the point, real value designed for you to put into action right away. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to this quick win episode of the Learn It, Do It podcast. I'm Pete, joined by my lovely wife and co-host Ree. And today we're going to talk to you all about what brand value really means to you and your business.
I love it. We talk about brand value all the time, and we thought it would be a good idea to kind of do a quick win episode just to get at what we really mean by that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into your building your company and providing a good service and creating good products and doing marketing. But really the thing that gives you the confidence and gives you the oomph, I call it, to get your pricing in order, to get everything ready to go, is creating perceived brand value. Now, what do we mean by that?
Really, the brand value is all about perception, right? So it's deciding how your business looks to other people. It's really the first impression, you know?
Yeah.
So I think what we wanted to talk about today is really what that means and how you're in control of that and how important that is.
So first off, we're going to go ahead and with the assumption that you are great at what you do.
Absolutely.
We're gonna just understand that you offer a great service, you're talented in whatever field you're in, and that goes without saying. So there's a lot of great people that do great things, but the problem is that you get stuck in a spot because you don't really know what you're doing, you don't know why you're stuck there, you don't know how to get to bigger markets, bigger clients, kind of just expand yourself and grow. And I think at the pinpoint of this issue is brand value.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we kind of build this, we'll call it a box, right, for ourselves and our business. And as we want to grow, we don't realize that we might need to upgrade our box, right?
Yeah,
So I want to share a little story. I think for a lot of us, especially us millennials, we do a lot of online research, right? So if I'm looking to hire somebody or I'm looking to even, go to a restaurant or something, first thing I do is I go to the internet and I look it up. And I'm sorry, everybody, but I'm judging, right? Yeah. Immediately, it's just my nature. I'm going to go and look and I'm going to see, do they have a logo? Do they have pictures of their space? Now, these are things that I'm just immediately going to look at. I'm going to look, do they have a website? And how does that website look? Now, if you see something and it looks like either, they don't have a logo or it looks like your nephew made it. I love my nephew dearly, but he's 5. So if it looks like that, I'm immediately feeling like I don't really feel confident working with them.
Right. We're looking for legitimacy in this first search. And when we started our company, little side, we started our whole motto was, what is your first impression? Because I understand in the digital space, we started in 2008 and I understood then and I understand now that you have less than 2 seconds to impress somebody.
Right.
And so at first we were talking about first impression, but now here we are in 2020 and we're looking for legitimacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this a legit? We said, is it legit? What is this? What am I going to? Who am I going to call? I'm looking for a specific service, or if someone refers me. So we were looking for a house cleaner a little while back, and someone said, "Oh, these guys are great." And I went online and I looked them up, and I was like, "Are these guys even legit?"
Right. Like who's coming to my house? Or, another example, I've seen, there's a website where you can go kind of like a Groupon where you look for coupons for things. And there's always massage therapists in there. And I always click to look at where I might be going for that massage. Right. Do they have a logo? If the logo looks professionally done, I'm assuming that they're a well-established business, that they invested in what they look like, and they're probably not going to be a hole in the wall or somebody's basement, right?
So it does a ton to set expectations. But also what brand value can do for you, especially when you're starting out, is if you are talented or you can pay for somebody who's talented to create a consistent, cohesive brand that is kind of strong all across the board. This will allow everyone who sees you to assume that you are a legitimate business and that you are doing well.
And that you're worth it, right?
You're worth it. That's huge.
Is so big. We talk
God.
about this all the time. We want to help people make more money for themselves so that they can live the life they want to live. And you do that so efficiently through brand value. If you can make it look like you are an incredibly successful, legitimate business, right, that invests in their first impression, that has all the branding, matching throughout everything, well, now you warrant more money.
And people want to pay you.
Exactly.
Because again, remember, we're assuming you're really good at your service. Obviously, if you put together a slick brand and there's nothing behind it, well, that's good. You'll be called a fraud. People will know immediately that you're a fraud.
Right.
But if you are great at what you're doing and then you have a slick brand, people want to pay you.
Right.
They're going to want to pay you more money.
Absolutely. And we all know, I mean, we see the power of branding throughout everything we do, right? That's why people spend $600 on a purse that has a certain name on it instead of, $10 on the one that they get at, Kohl's that has no name on it, right?
Yeah.
It's all brand value. That works for you and your business, and it can work in your favor if you're smart about it. So, we have a lot of resources that we like to share with people how you can create your own marketing and still have that high quality look. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to spend a lot of money. It just needs to look like you spent a lot of money.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I have a little story. Now, we know that it might not be fair to make kind of that split second decision on somebody, judging a book by its cover. But let's think about this realistically for a second. Say you're hiring somebody to come work for you. Okay, Pete? And we have potential employee A, and that person sends in a typed up resume, right? It looks really professionally designed. Maybe it has a portfolio attached with some of their work that they've done before. Mm-hmm. They show up for the interview. They're on time. They're dressed professionally. They present themselves really well.
Charismatic.
They're charismatic, right? You feel great about that interaction. Now, potential employee B shows up and they have a napkin, which they have scribbled some of their experience on. Okay. They look like they haven't showered in a week. They're wearing pajamas, right? They fumbling all over their words. Now, both of those employees could be equally skilled, equally great employees. Who are you hiring?
Yeah, you're going to go with A every single time.
Every single
based
time.
on presentation. And that's the same thing. And honestly, even B could be more talented than A, but at the point, it doesn't matter. My confidence as an employer at that point, or if you're a consumer looking at a company to get a service from, your confidence goes with the person who's presented better.
Exactly. So I want you all to kind of think for yourself, think about your business for a second and ask yourself, is my business wearing pajamas?
Seriously, am I going out every day wearing, cargo shorts to a black tux event? Like,
exactly.
what am I doing? And that goes along with your messaging. That goes along with your brand, the way your visual brand is, and that goes along with the way that you give your clients the experience. Whether you give products or services, it's all part of your brand value.
Absolutely.
And that brand value is the first thing that people are going to talk to when they give word of mouth. They're, oh my goodness, they were amazing. They have all these resources. They have this, that, the other thing. Those are the tangibles that people can actually speak to about with their friends when it comes to word of mouth marketing.
Right. And, I think it's so funny, we kind of some people end up putting the logo down or, it's not a big deal or whatever, I'll just use a clip art or, type something. It doesn't matter, but it matters so much. We would never show up to a business meeting wearing pajamas, right?
Nope.
Never would you show up to meet with a client wearing your pajamas. But if you look at your logo and you think it doesn't matter, well, then you're showing up in your pajamas all the time without even realizing it.
And also, let me just be specific. Like if you have a good logo, so you hear us talking to you, I'm going to go get a good logo, but then your brand is not consistent between all of your social profiles, all of your online listings, and your website. Well, there's going to be cracks in the armor.
People because there's a disconnect.
Right, because there's a disconnect, and you don't want to give that doubt into any consumer's mind. You want to be consistent with your brand, and that's why this value, this perceived value, is so important.
Right. It allows you to build trust and integrity, and it warrants more money. And I think that's what we're always trying to get at. If two people show up to clean your house, and one crew is wearing pajamas, and the other crew is dressed in matching shirts, right? I'm much more willing to pay that company with matching shirts more money.
Oh, real story. The cleaning company we ended up finding is absolutely amazing in their client experience.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the same girl that comes. She shows up with professional stuff. And then we get texted when she's on her way. We get texted after to let's ask how it goes.
And how did I find them? I Googled them. I saw a bunch of cleaners and I clicked on everyone's website, and their website looked professional. They had a clear brand. They had, a mobile version of their site. I got an email immediately with their brand on it. I felt confident that this was a legitimate business that did real work that people appreciated, and I was willing to spend the money on them.
It shows that they take their business seriously and not just their service. And I think that's a huge thing too. But the moral of the branding story and the brand value is that you can make more money with a higher perceived brand value. And you can do that by creating marketing and branding materials for yourself. You can do this yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to teach people how to do. We own a creative media agency. We know we work with professionals. We are professionals. We know how to do all these things. And we're telling you this for a reason, because
Right.
you can charge more. When people think you're worth more, you can charge more. And that's the easiest way to gain confidence too, because sometimes you're not confident in pricing and you don't know how to charge more and you think you're just coming up with it. But when you have the brand to back you up, it gives you so much more confidence. And I want to share a real quick story of when we very first got started, 2008. We were using iWeb 08 or whatever it was, on our iMac, and we made a website. We said, we have to start a company. We named it Do Something Different. We went and got an LLC.
We worked really, really hard to make this website look amazing. Now, in hindsight, the irony is that we probably could have spent a little more time preparing our business for clients, right?
We just wanted to look cool and sound cool. And we actually didn't really have a lot of services. We were kind of freelancing at the time. If you heard episode 0 of our podcast, we go into that. But we made this website, and not kidding you, within a week, we got a phone call from this lady in Chicago who was floored that Rhiannon, the CEO of this company, answered the phone.
Right. And to me, I'm thinking, what do you mean? You're like, who else would answer the phone, right? Me or Pete? You had a 50-50 shot. But she was literally amazed because the impression that she got on our website was that we were a big company with lots of people working for us. And why in the world would the CEO answer the phone? Like, she was thrilled. And it showed us right then immediately that the perception that you put out there is so powerful.
Right. You get to create how everyone sees you. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to what you're doing, and make sure that all your ducks in a row. Make sure that all the dots are connected, because people will find, little like divots in your armor, and then all of a sudden, they say, oh, they're not that legit, or I'm going to go with this person because they look put together.
Right. So let's find ways to, take our pajamas off, show up with our best first impression, and really improve our brand value so that we can make more money.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for this quick win episode. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to check out more of our videos and catch us on our podcast. Let's do it.